Hi, my name is Marta Skrzypczyńska. I am business and life coach. I help people to save time, to generate financial surpluses, and get their life energy back. You will find more information about me on my social media, LinkedIn and Facebook, and on my website, www.careaboutyourself.eu. I am also a member of business health clubs. And now let me show you the concept of the business health clubs. In a business health club community, we want that everyone is able to decide about their own lives, and we carry out the mission of raising health awareness, thanks to which everyone can be free and have space to meet their most important needs. People have different needs. Some of them want to feel safe, some of them want to be the part of something bigger, and others just want to become the best version of themselves. And we understand this, and in our community, everyone can meet the key needs for him. And this aspiration of satisfying one's own need is in fact the dream of being happy. And people define happiness different ways. For one person, this is family. For other, money. For other people, this is relationship, helping other. It is traveling. But let's remember one thing. What is important for us, we will be naturally nature and breed care about this. So, like a gardener, his flowers. Yeah, we can imagine this kind of situation, but just as for a growth of flowers, the right conditions are needed for growth. It means adequate amount of water, lighting, and fertile soil. So do we humans, we need this kind of a special conditions. And our soil, which is the basis of our happiness and life as well, is health. What we know very well, but we often forget. Because thanks to health, we can grow value like flowers in our garden. And it is said that the sick person has only one dream, to be healthy again. For me, it looked like after 7 years of full-time work, writing doctorate and various life disturbance, my body weakened. The most painful was everyday back pain accompanying me more than 2 years. So my body said, stop. My body said, Marta, if you keep doing this, I will have to say goodbye to your life. And I love life so much. So I decided, and I didn't want to lose my opportunities to grow. So I decided to work on change and experience the freedom of fulfilling my dreams thanks to better well-being. So now you can see to which kind of extent the health is important that we keep our freedom. Dalai Lama, who has been fighting for the freedom for years, has formulated the following sentence. Humans sacrifice their own health to earn money, then sacrifice their money to regain health. Besides, humans are so worried about their future that they don't enjoy the present. But how can you enjoy the present if the hard data more than half century ago showed that as many as 37% of Poles died of circulatory system failure and cancer? Is it a lot or a little? Nevertheless, almost more than 50 years passed, and the development of civilization moved forward. But with it come out new civilization challenges like poor nutrition, chemically modified foods, everyday stress, and pollution. It caused that one of the most important elements of our freedom, of our opportunities, that is our health, is degraded. And intensively used soil has become devastated on a larger scale, and now this is not full in nutrients like that are needed for the human body, like calcium, like magnesium and mineral salts. It is filled with nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus that are responsible for growth of plant and its appearance, but don't give necessary quality of crops. And what can grow on this kind of sterile soil? So let's check it. Vegetables now are about 60% less valuable than 34 years ago. And for example, look at potatoes. In 2002, they had 78% less calcium compared to just only 17 years before. And all this means that despite the development of civilization, statistics on mortality looks like this. And if we decided that 37 on the one of the earlier slides, it was the terrifying number, when it comes to mortality from circulatory system failure and cancer, so what can we say about number 74? Isn't an alarming number. But why is this happening? Human body is constantly being rebuilt, and this means that every day we need 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 21 amino acids, and fats like omega-3, 6, and 9. And the question arises is where to get such a building material with this pathological condition of vegetables. So with statistic I just discussed, to keep our body not devastated, we would have to eat at least 10 kilo, more than 10 kilo vegetables and fruits every day. And comparing this situation to the building house, we can imagine that to keep the roof in the place that it should be, every day to fortifications, we should put more than 10 kilos of cement. It's ridiculous, but at the same time, these are the facts. And it is said that human body consists of 70 to 80% of water, but where can we find the cleanest water? In springs and rivers, where the water changing and constantly changing naturally. And what happens when the rivers, the change of the water is no longer possible? The river turns into a pond. And what water can be found in the ponds? Water contaminated with toxins, viruses, bacteria, lethal water in which decay begins. And since we are talking about decay, it is understandable why most people nowadays are real colonies of parasites, the so-called rich inner life. And we used to talk about ourselves as a rational human beings. It seems that we reasonably maintain and feed our uninvited guests in our bodies on an unprecedented scale. There are 3 types of white death: sugar, flour, and the doctor in a white smock. And I think this is largely true because modern medicine is focused on treating symptoms, not causes. And speaking about responsibility of every of us, it's not a point. It is not a point to change our life in one day, because this is not possible. But what we have to do with our life is just not to let our body to be sterile. If this changing our life in one day could be possible, everybody would be okay with the information that we already have. It means sugar kills. Magnesium, coffee flush out magnesium. That chronic fatigue, headaches, and allergies are early warning indicators that something bad is happening with our bodies. And completely changing our life is just as possible as climbing Mount Everest. So it means this is possible, but someone has to really, really want it. So what appeals to me is inspiration to aspiration of balance. And already 300 years ago, 300 years before Christ, Hippocrates has formulated a timeless definition of balance. Let food be medicine and let medicine be food. How do you do this in the face of all the factors that I mentioned earlier? By strengthening our body with real food that is rich with nutrition such as minerals and vitamins in the form of supplementation. And Dr. Joel Wallach is a Nobel Prize winner when it comes to health nutrition, wrote a book about supplementation titled That Doctors Don't Like. And he used to say that in modern times, supplementation is not only a necessity, but it's also responsibility of each of us on the way to authentic freedom and building balanced life. And what made him interested in supplementation? He was observing farmers who had no insurance against the death and disease of their animals. But what they were doing, they were giving very simple and cheap solution, such as vitamins and minerals, preventing this way death and diseases of the animals. So when we talk about balance, it's worth remembering that today's food should be supplemented with food that is fully nutritious. And nevertheless, when we build the foundation of our capabilities and possibilities of making our dreams, that is health, it is also worth remembering about other factors that are important in our life and between which on the path to fulfillment should be also a balance between. Personal development is another factor that enables us to take effective action in relation to the times that we live and that we face with. The world around us is changing, and the world around us is changing, and I was talking about this today in the context of civilization challenges, but these are not only challenges. We go to kindergarten, we are taught how to play in a group, how to dance with children, but nobody teaches us which way to deal with rejection from other children and with emotions connected to this. We go to primary school, we learn history of ancient Egypt, but no one teaches us how to manage our own energy and to be able to sit 45 minutes in a bench without move and with our emotions. We enter adult life, we start our professional work, but nobody teaches us how to communicate effectively with each other, how to resolve conflicts, how to effectively manage people, how to sell effectively, how to negotiate, and finally, nobody teaches us how to work with stress, how to relieve stress. So we start looking answers intuitively. We learn life and personal effectiveness on the basis of trial and errors, but let's agree, we make more mistakes than success. Often than thanks to the people who are surround us. This is so-called hand rule. There is so-called hand rule. And it says that we are a derivative of 5 people that are among us and with whom we spend the time most often. Our beliefs, our ideas, our actions, and strategies are shared. And now think about people who surround you. How optimistic and committed they are. To what extent they can inspire and motivate you to act effectively. And most importantly, which strategies and actions do they tell you every day? Because it is said that if you want to achieve goals and make your dreams come true that you haven't realized so far, then it's worth using other strategies than those which you used so far. Strategies that have been developed based on experience of other people, of people who have already achieved the goals you want to achieve. This is a kind of a synergy effect. This is mutual inspiration on the path to the authentic freedom and security. And together, freedom and security can certainly be supported by financial comfort. And it is said that to earn a really big money, you must give yourself permission. And that means working on your own belief system. And this is in turn possible thanks to personal development and people who make you your community. But to participate 100% in the world of opportunities dedicated to you, you must be physically able to participate in it. And this can guarantee you only your health. Therefore, is the key balance for me, is the key to authentic fulfillment and situation that I can truly say, I am a happy person. And this aspiration to build balance is our main mission, which I can briefly call I live consciously and I support others on the same path. But the worst thing is, however, when someone appears in your life and say, hey, it's worth you change your life, you start created consciously, and that then I always answer, I understand it's worth, but how should I do it? So people who inspire and encourage should also share, in my opinion, share knowledge how to do it. And we are fully aware of the responsibility. Therefore, in the next presentation, let me show you, tell you about the tools we offer. And if you have any questions or feedback on the content just presented, I will be happy to talk about this with you. My name is Marta Skrzypczyńska, and more details about me you will find on my social media, LinkedIn and Facebook, and on my website, www.careaboutyourself.eu. Thank you for your attention.